I just got done almost murdering this fucking cat and throwing this tripod that the phone is on against the wall. But we're okay now. A couple deep breaths and everything is just fine. It's just fine. All right. So, episode 27. We're back home, back in Minnesota for a little while. Yeah, man. Just wanted to get back into it. Figured I was kind of in a good mood, been relaxed all day. So, yeah. But few points. The first point that I guess I kind of want to check off is like I've been off the road for like technically almost 3 months now. Let's see here. July, August, September. Holy shit. July, August, September. Oh my gosh. Well, we're getting close to 4 months since I've been consistently on the road because in the strain of those 3 months, I've dabbled, going on the road, going back home. But now we're officially on the countdown until I'm back on the road. Yeah, man, it's scary. It's honestly really scary because the job in Alaska was super social, and it was just very social. And when I was on the road working on that grind, there was pretty much no socializing. And I guess my point is that it's interesting how easily we can get used to a certain way and how easily we can take it for granted, because a lot of the time that I was in Alaska, I just was haunted by my own demons. And whether or not there was anything I could have really done to change my perspective, other than going to Alaska and back to realize that when I went back home that that it was different. It's like I don't know, man. It's scary, man. Shit changes. But it's all about building yourself back up, callousing your mind, and just trying to keep a balance. Yeah. I think the number one thing that's really important when it comes to keeping your sanity is you need some kind of social life. Otherwise, you're just going to go crazy. And that's what going to Alaska made me realize was when I was on the road welding, I I had no social life. Like, it was 24/7 grind, but I mean there was nothing. There was nothing besides my crew, but eventually, they feel robotic to you cuz it's the same fucking crew you're working with every day. So I mean, don't get me wrong, grind, but you got to be able to just have something in your life that will give you some kind of sustenance, I guess. Yeah. But then at the same time, I'll probably go back on the road and I'll do the same thing. Because to me, for personally me, it honestly seems worth it as far as what I want for my goals and to me what that work ethic would give me after being consistent for, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years, whatever. You know, I guess it's really just about what you're willing to sacrifice, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's like a lot of people are scared. A lot of people are scared to put themselves out there, or they just get lost because their confidence is down. It's like you gotta learn how to be scared and overcome at the same time, because it might not seem like you're being productive when you overcome that fear, but it pays off in the long run. Like when I first went on the road, like I wasn't. scared at first, and then after my first night, I realized that I was officially alone. I didn't have my college mates with me. I didn't have my parents with me. I was all alone in this hotel room, and I kind of slid into that like couple week depression. But it took time to just kind of acclimate and then realize, all right, we can pick ourselves back up. We just need to figure out how to stay productive, healthy, a positive mindset. And I think the biggest thing for me was keeping the distractions aside. Like I was barely on social media. Like I was sending probably like one snap a day to my buddy Timmy just to keep that streak, of which like I should lose that streak just so I don't have that inclination to go on Snapchat anymore. But it's almost a 2-year streak, so fuck it. But yeah, like eliminating those distractions and kind of really just surrounding yourself, or I was surrounding myself with things that could only motivate me, only lift me up. And that even went as simple and as far as like the music I would listen to. Because like a lot of the music that I do listen to, like it's talks about depressive things, and sometimes it is motivating, but I feel like a lot of the time it can be just make you want to just chill out, party, shit like that. At least for me. And what I started doing was I started like listening to, still dope songs, but songs that, would kind of had a theme of like overcoming things or yeah, just like just more positive shit. And or a podcast. Like I would just listen to motivational podcasts all the time. But it does get hard sometimes when your intake is so much, it can start to feel so artificial because your social life is so minimalistic. But it's all about just working through it and just figuring out what works for you, and some people just are built different, and I understand that. But at the same time, it's like, you got to overcome shit. You can only make excuses for so long until you got to realize that, you are capable of something. You just got to get the fuck up, look in the mirror, and realize that, I mean, for me, it got to the point, the biggest turning point was probably forgiving, just forgiving certain things that happened in my upbringing that I always drew anger from, and I used it as energy to drive my work ethic. Because I had a great childhood. Like there's no doubt about it. But there were just a few times where I didn't have what the normal child had. And I'm not using that as an excuse. Like I turned out great. Like I got lucky with my mom, my stepdad, and my dad's a good man now. But, there were times where I didn't have what the normal child has. And I carried that weight from probably 12 to 19, 20 years old. And I started to realize that the longer I hold on to it, it's going to turn into bad energy, poison. And I started to notice that carrying that anger wasn't fueling me anymore. I had to basically find my own purpose, finding more reason. I'd say very much on a spiritual level. And I'm not religious, but I couldn't say that I'm not spiritual at all. And that's what it took, was I had to really dial in my work ethic and dig through those deep waters and really find myself at the core. And right now, I'm not quite that person. Like, I'll fully admit, because I haven't had to worry about finances. Like, when I was in Alaska, everything was paid for. Like, my job paid for food and whatnot, and rent and, housing, all that shit. So, I've kind of been in this place mentally where, like, money just, I haven't had to work for it myself. And I've had, a lot of money saved up from when I got back from the road, from welding on the road. But when I get back on the road, I think that will allow me, or I shouldn't say allow, it'll put me back in that place of being like, all right, it's just me, myself, and I. How can we dial it in and fast track the American dream? Because that's my ultimate goal, is fast tracking to the American dream as efficiently and as as efficiently as possible. That's pretty much the only way I can explain it. Yeah, man, I think that's the biggest thing. Just you know, confronting certain childhood problems and admitting where you are in life, because I'll admit it, like, I'm not super dialed in right now. It's been hard for me to study as much as I did a few months ago. I mean, I'm still generally happy, but I know I could do better. And I think a lot of people should think that way. But but the best I can do is just record these videos and try to at least put people in a better mindset. What else do we got? Being okay, being scared. Um, yeah, man. If you tuned in until the end, thank you very much. I think this is one of my more favorite episodes I've recorded. And yeah, hope you guys have a good spooky Halloween. It's spooky Halloween month, motherfucker. My favorite month. And I hope it's yours too. And yeah, you have a good weekend. Adios.